Hello everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel. In today's video, I'll be sharing several of Spellbinders' brand new club kits of the month. The Spellbinders Club Kits release on the 1st of the month, and I wanted to be sure to combine the ones that I have for you in one video so you can grab them if you want, because last month several did sell out. So in today's video, I'll be focusing on the card kit of the month, which is called Always Remember. I'll also share the small die of the month and the glimmer kit of the month. So let's flip through the kits real fast so you can get an idea of how much is included, especially in that card kit of the month. So let's start with Spellbinders' February card kit of the month called Always Remember. Of course, you have an inspiration card, lots of cardstock, 9 pieces of cardstock, including a gold mirror cardstock, which is double-sided, and all these beautiful soft colors. These are the dies that come inside the card kit of the month. So you get a vine that can be placed together to create a wreath, you get lots of little sentiment dies, and then teeny tiny flowers and flower centers. You'd also get 10 cards and 10 envelopes, and a 6x6 pattern paper pad. And you can just see there are tons of gorgeous patterns. Some can be used as backgrounds, some can be used as central pieces. There's wood grain, there's flowers, there's stripes, there's butterflies, rainbows, all kinds of beautiful soft colors in this pattern paper pad that go exactly perfectly with the cardstock colors and the other embellishments, like these chipboard frames. These are self-adhesive chipboard frames. Some of them have gold foiling on them as well. Next up, there's a 4x6 stamp set with tons of beautiful heartfelt sentiments, combining script and typeface fonts, which I absolutely love that combination, and this script is gorgeous. There are also chipboard stickers. You get 2 sheets here, and there's all kinds of little elements there. And then I think I shared this last time as well. There are about a billion pieces of die cuts in this pack. Okay, maybe it's not a billion, but there are a lot of them. Some have gold foiling to them. They're all die cut into the shapes surrounding them. There's a candle, there's birds, there's hearts, flowers, all kinds of things. This is the small die of the month, and if you've seen Spellbinders stitching dies before, they create this very cool little starburst or sunburst pattern when you stitch from the center to the outsides, and you can cut them out as well. This is the glimmer kit of the month, which includes several dies and a foil, although I'm not sure exactly what color it is. I believe it is gold matte, as long as they have it available. Now I'm going to use all 3 of these kit clubs to create a bunch of cards. For this first card, I'm going to combine pattern paper, the stamp set, and a chipboard frame. I thought that the chipboard frame would hold one of the stamped sentiments beautifully, so I cut a piece of pattern paper to fit just behind the chipboard frame, and I'm lining up the stamp inside the chipboard frame. Then I'm going to remove it so that I can stamp it inside my mini Misty. And once I have it in place, I'm just going to stamp it with some black ink, and that will show up really nicely on that really soft pastel background. And peel off the release paper of the chipboard frame and lay it down right on top. And I really like the way that looks. You can put die cuts inside the frames as well, or other chipboard stickers. They do look like picture frames. So I'm going to mat a piece of the pattern paper on a piece of the cardstock, and then adhere that chipboard frame with the sentiment down on top of that. I'm just going to put a little die cut butterfly. For the next card, I'm going to use the dies that come in the card kit of the month. Since they're so tiny, I'm going to use some iCraft Easy-Cut Adhesive, which is a thin adhesive sheet behind the gold mirror cardstock. And since the gold mirror cardstock is double-sided, you can put the adhesive sheet on either side. Simply peel off one side of the release paper of the adhesive sheet and then lay it down on the gold mirror cardstock. I've cut mine down to about 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and that thin adhesive sheet fits perfectly behind it. Then you can just place your dies with the die cutting side down onto the cardstock side. So the back of it is going to be the adhesive that will turn it into a sticker. I'm going to put 2 pieces of pattern paper matted on top of each other. I love this wood grain. It is absolutely one of my favorites. And I did cut out that foiled frame that we saw at the beginning of the video, as well as a bunch of the sentiments. And now I'm going to put a candle down at the bottom of the foiled frame and then layer some of the sentiments on top that say just saying hello. And I love adding chipboard stickers on top of chipboard stickers and those tiny little flowers and tiny little flower sentiments. I know it looks very fussy, but they're so delicate and perfect for around the vines that I cut them out of white cardstock, cut the little flower centers out of dark blue cardstock from the kit, and I'm using just an embellishment tool and some liquid adhesive to apply those down and some of the sequins that come from the kit. The sequins are a beautiful iridescent that just catch the light no matter where you turn them, and combining those with the gold mirror cardstock is so much fun. And this is a super easy card. I didn't do any stamping here, and I know, like I said, it looks a little fussy to play with all those little pieces, but it comes out absolutely beautifully. Then I just wanted to remind you that there are cards and envelopes in this kit so that you can put these panels right down on those card bases and put them in an envelope and send them right out in the mail. So these cards come together so quickly because there's so much in this kit. For this next card, I did grab one of my Spellbinders embossing folders from my stash that has a bunch of little hearts on it. I trimmed it down so that the hearts were half flush to every side of the card panel and put that on top of some of the pattern paper. I love white, dry, embossed cardstock. I just think it looks so pretty. So then on top of that, I did want to add some color. So I have one of the die cuts as the sentiment, and then a die cut that's like a focal image in that flower, and then some die cuts around it that also have some foiling. So this one, super, super easy. I did use some of those pop-ups from the card kit, and then again, the sequins. So this time, to make an organic look, I just kind of threw the sequins at the card. Sometimes if you're struggling with where to place things, if you just kind of drop them down, you get kind of that organic look. Doesn't always work, but if you're struggling, sometimes try that out and see if it helps. And again, really, really simple card, came together so quickly, but so pretty. For this card, I wanted to use the small die of the month, which is that oval stitching die with the oval borders and die cuts. So I cut out the oval stitching die, and now I'm using both sides of the oval to cut out this entire oval. The reason they give it to you in two sides is so you can do just kind of a border at the bottom, or you can cut out the entire oval. And there's also smaller stitching ovals and other shapes that are oval in this whole die set. You get a lot. So for these stitching dies, they are very easy to stitch. You start in the center of that little shape, and then you do kind of long stitches almost to the outside. It really doesn't take long. I've mentioned before that I'm a slow stitcher. I sat down with these and a podcast, and I just listened for a little bit, and I really got them done very quickly. So I'm not going to stitch both of these whole things, but this is how they turn out when you're done. Now, I do end up having a lot of tails. I use Scotch tape and just tape them down so that they don't go stray. And then I just use regular old tape runner to adhere that stitched oval down. I have the yellow cardstock is also from the card kit on top of that, and then the white stitched one down on top of that. Love these colors together. Something about that bright blue with the bright yellow. And then just added a couple of die cuts for the sentiment and some embellishment. I just love those stitching details, but I will show you in this next card that you don't even always have to use actual stitching with those dies. They look pretty as is. So all these sentiments that you're seeing here are from the Glimmer kit, and they're all foiled on colorful cardstock from the card kit. So the Glimmer kit this month has a bunch of sentiments. There are some birthday sentiments, there are some thank you sentiments, some are in this really whimsical script font, and some are in a kind of typeface font as well. So lots of options in that kit, and I believe it comes with a gold matte gold foil. I used a shiny gold foil here. So I'm going to use the small die of the month, the stitching border die from that set. And I'm going to line up just the stitching border, which cuts out all those stitching holes. And then I'm going to use one side of the scalloped edge to cut that off. And then I cut off a piece of white cardstock with the scalloped edge as well, but not with the stitching dies. This way I could layer those stitching holes over the white cardstock and it makes it look like a doily. So just another way to use those stitching dies without even having to pick up a needle and thread. And I think they look so pretty and delicate and elegant. I'm gonna add to the foil sentiment and that stitched element die at the bottom, a die cut and some sequins. For this card, I'm going to use the oval scallops from the small die of the month, and I cut out one of the foiled sentiments from the glimmer kit of the month, and I'm layering that on top of a larger die cut oval. And when I put them all together on that white background with some of the die cuts from the card kit of the month, I decided I wanted something a little extra. So I grabbed a pattern paper that has some script in the background, and that made all the difference in the world. So don't just scrap something if at first you're not super fond of it. See if you can just add one little element, and I think that script did it for me. So I added a couple of the chipboard stickers. Again, super easy card to create and so cute. For this card, I'm going to use one of the chipboard frames that has a little bit of foiling elements. It has foiled dots on it around one of the foiled sentiments. So you can see how beautifully these sentiments foiled on the colorful cardstock from Spellbinders. And I will link in the right-hand corner up in the top of the video to my glimmer foil video with tips and tricks on how to foil on colorful cardstock or any cardstock at all actually and get great results. So to complete this card, I decided it was going to be super, super clean and simple. I have pink matted on the dark blue that I used for the sentiment, and then a couple of die cuts coming out from the top and bottom, and that is it. I love how all of the Spellbinders Kid Clubs work so well together. Which was your favorite this month? Let me know in the comments below. If you love seeing Kit Club reviews and other card making new products and techniques, please like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can be notified every time I have a new video available. As always, I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon. Club reviews and work really well together. Really love, really well, really. Okay.